Every October 31st, 60 million Americans take part in a ritual they think is purely American. But here's what's shocking. America didn't create this holiday. America stole it, rewrote it, commercialized it, and turned it into a global phenomenon that's now worth $13 billion a year. And this didn't happen over centuries. This happened in exactly 80 years. Today, you're going to learn 26 crazy facts about how an Irish farming ritual became an American super holiday. What happened to the Irish people who brought this tradition over? Why did World War II completely change Halloween? What piece of candy packaging in 1968 created a billion-dollar industry? And why do psychologists think that watching horror actually makes you less stressed? Let's go! The story of a holiday that you and your neighbors basically invented. Samhain, November 1st. This wasn't some mystical ghost festival. It was an agricultural turning point. The day Irish farmers brought cattle down from summer pastures and slaughtered them for winter. Bonfires, dead animals, blood and meat. Fast forward to the 1800s. Ireland, Scotland, England. People were carving out turnips and rutabagas, putting candles inside, sticking them in their windows, not for decoration. As an apotrope, an object to ward off evil. There's actually a turnip lantern in the Irish Museum of Country Life, dated 1903. This isn't a legend. This is real. By the 1500s, Britain had a tradition called souling, later guising. Poor kids, in costume, going door to door, singing, performing. People gave them soul cakes, pastries, or coins. It was a prayer for the dead in exchange for food. It was normal. Shakespeare even mentioned it. So here's what Europe had: bonfires, carved vegetables, costumes, door-to-door begging. But in the 1840s, everything changes. The Irish famine changes everything. During the Great Famine, 1845 to 1852, over 2 million Irish fled to America. They brought their traditions with them, including Halloween. By the 1870s and 1880s, newspapers in Philadelphia and New York are describing kids going door to door in costumes on October 31st. The tradition arrived. But here's the thing. Irish farmers grew turnips. American farmers grew pumpkins. Bigger, sweeter, way easier to carve. Natural evolution. By 1900, jack-o'-lanterns were made of pumpkin. But that was slow. The real turning point? Greeting cards. Between 1905 and 1915, two printing companies, Raphael Tuck and George C. Whitney, pumped out about 3,000 different Halloween postcard designs. These cards standardized the look: orange and black, pumpkins, black cats, witches. One printing press created the visual language of Halloween. Before postcards, every region celebrated differently. After postcards, everyone wanted pumpkins and black cats. Now, here's where it gets wild. The term trick or treat first showed up in newspapers in 1927 and 1928, but not how you think. It appeared as a threat. Headlines said, "Trick or treat night could get out of hand. Police warn." This wasn't fun. This was crime, vandalism. Kids were threatening, "Give us candy or we'll tip over your pumpkin." By the 1930s, Halloween was a nightmare for city officials. Kids lighting bonfires in the streets, knocking over flower pots, locking people inside their homes. Police organized Halloween patrols. The solution: turn the crime into the celebration. In the 30s, Halloween was dangerous, but then World War II happened. And something else: sugar rationing. That changed everything. April 27th, 1942. The US put sugar under rationing. Why? Japan conquered the Philippines, threatened Hawaii, cut off the sugar supply. This rationing lasted until June 1947. 5 years. No candy. No Halloween. Trick-or-treating basically disappeared. Then in 1947 to 1950, two companies, Brax and Curtis, launched a national ad campaign right before Halloween. The message? Protect your child. Only buy factory-wrapped candy from trusted brands. Marketing created fear, then sold the solution. April of 1968. Mars introduces Fun Size. mini candy bars. Sounds small, right? It was a revolution for Halloween. Why? Before this, kids got big candy or homemade treats. Fun size made Halloween safe, factory wrapped, convenient. You hand out 50 bars in seconds. Cheap, made giving out candy affordable. One size of candy, that's all it took. And Halloween became a mass holiday. In the 1970s and 80s, satanic panic took hold. Parents were convinced criminals were putting needles, razor blades, poison in candy. The actual number of confirmed cases? 4 in all of history. But the media created the panic. The urban legends did the work. Police set up X-ray stations on Halloween to check candy. Paranoia was a marketing weapon. So, 80 years, Irish farming ritual plus American packaging plus war plus marketing equals $13.1 billion in the 2025. But that's not the whole story. There's psychology, symbols, cinema. June 13th, 1233. Pope Gregory IX issues a papal bull. It links black cats to satanic rituals. One document. And suddenly black cats became symbols of evil for 700 years. Medieval people literally burned black cats on bonfires to honor St. John. One papal order created a stereotype that lives today. Here's another one. Bats. The ancient Celts lit bonfires on Samhain night. Those fires attracted thousands of insects. Bats showed up to eat, their nocturnal nature, plus the environment, bonfires, animal bones, death, it all equaled magic. Bats became symbols of Halloween because they literally came to the party. Now, let's talk about witches. 14 months, February 1692 to May 1693. Salem, Massachusetts. Over 200 people accused of witchcraft. 30 convicted, 19 executed. 14 women, 5 men. Giles Corey was pressed to death with stones. His last words, "More weight." This was mass hysteria, driven by hunger, disease, directed at easy targets, single women, wealthy widows. But Salem wasn't unique. Between 1450 and 1750, Europe saw roughly 100,000 witch trials. Result? 40 to 60,000 executions. In Germany alone, 16,000 trials, 7,000 deaths. 75 to 80% of victims were women. The Halloween witch? She's a symbol of 300 years of systematic murder. And vampires? Here's the thing. In the 1700s and 1800s, people noticed tuberculosis spread through families. Victims became pale, skeletal, coughing blood. When graves were opened, corpses often had liquid blood inside. That's normal decomposition, but people didn't know that. Their conclusion? Vampires. They rise from the dead and drink the blood of the living. Vampires in Halloween? Medical myth turned legend. All these symbols live in Halloween as historical deposits. But the thing that made Halloween global? Cinema. One film in particular. Halloween in 1978. 156 times return on investment. Budget? $300,000. Box office? $47 million. Adjusted for inflation in 2025, over $200 million. This film created the slasher genre, made Halloween synonymous with cinema horror. Now here's the psychology. A lab called the Recreational Fear Lab, run by Matthias Classen at Aarhus University in Denmark, discovered something. There's a golden ratio between fear and pleasure. Too little fear? You're bored, no dopamine. Too much fear? You panic. You hurt. You feel disgust. Optimal fear. Your brain releases endorphins and dopamine. You get a rush. This explains why people pay to be scared. A 2021 study by Scrivener and others tracked horror fans during the COVID lockdown of 2020. Know what they found? Horror fans showed significantly less psychological stress than the general population. The hypothesis? Horror works like an emotional vaccine. Controlled exposure to recreational fear trains your nervous system. Halloween. 2025 is nothing like Halloween 2015. TikTok created a whole new layer. Halloween makeup challenges. Over 100 million views. Scary story videos. 8 to 15 seconds, like short films. Haunted house tours right from people's homes. Costume reveals like fashion shows. Social media democratized fear, democratized horror. Now, is $13.1 billion big? Context matters. Christmas, $800 billion. Mother's Day, $25 billion. Easter, $18 billion. Halloween, $13.1 billion, fifth place. But here's the thing, when it comes to decorations alone, Halloween is second. Only Christmas beats it. People spend more money making their homes scary than any other holiday. Psychology plus cinema, plus marketing, plus social media created something, the most honest holiday on the calendar. Because on Halloween, we don't pretend. Think about it. What other American holiday celebrates death? Christmas, life, family, hope, Thanksgiving, harvest, gratitude, Mother's Day, love, care, Halloween, death, fear, darkness. This is the only holiday where the central metaphor is meeting the dead and trying to survive. That's honest. That's raw. That works. But other cultures approach death differently. Dia de Muertos in Mexico, families welcome dead spirits with joy. Dancing, food, flowers. The dead are guests. Obon in Japan, families light lanterns to guide ancestors home. It's tender. It's gentle. Halloween in America, you're a fugitive. The spirit is nearby. You hide. You scream. Maybe you survive. Cultural difference. In Mexico and Japan, the dead are family. In America, the dead are enemies. Here's a paradox. In the 1950s, about 42% of Americans believed in ghosts. In 2024, 20 to 25%. Belief in the supernatural cut in half. But spending on Halloween went up 100 times over. The less we believe in ghosts, the more we want to be scared by them. Astronomically, October 31st is 13 days before the winter solstice. December 21st. It's the tipping point. Day and night nearly equal. But the slide is toward darkness, toward cold. Ancient people knew this instinctively. Modern people feel it in their bones. Halloween is an archetypal transition holiday. You put on a costume of the dead. You walk in darkness. You ask for food. You meet strangers. You survive the night. This is a Neolithic rite of passage, wrapped in candy and marketing. It works because it works psychologically. The history of Halloween is the evolution of one raw human desire. 5,000 years ago, ancient people met death, lit bonfires, ate meat, survived. From the 1500s to the 1800s, Irish people carved vegetables, wore costumes, asked for food. In the 1940s and 1950s, Americans created marketing, standardized it, made it safe. In 2025, we understand why it works. It's a psychological exercise in managing fear. And here's a bonus fact. Halloween is the only American holiday the rest of the world actually wants. Christmas came before America. Thanksgiving is purely American. Nobody else does it. 4th of July? Other countries don't sing the national anthem. But Halloween, over 100 countries. Tokyo to Rome, Sydney to Moscow. It's not American invasion, it's voluntary adoption. People want to meet fear. Your neighbors didn't invent Halloween. Irish farmers invented it. War reshaped it. Marketing standardized it. Cinema launched it. The internet democratized it. You just picked the costume. But that costume, it's 5,000 years of human history compressed into one night.
Happy Halloween.